Not yet. No, hell no. Not
We
yet.
haven't.
We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Back to what I was saying. We got cut off. Technical difficulties. I'm sorry, but we are definitely back. All right. So what I was saying was this before my computer rudely interrupted our conversation. What I was saying was that these girls in the flyweight division bring their own skill sets. They bring their own style of fighting, and Valentina's going to have to learn to. She's going to have to adjust to. She's going to have to get her grappling on a higher level because if someone like Jillian Robertson takes down Valentina Shevchenko, then she's going to be in a world of trouble. Now, Nicco Montano, on the other hand, Nicco Montano is not. She's not bad on the ground, so that should be her best game plan. September 8th is to take Valentina down, to take her down. That's because if she tries to stand and strike with Valentina, then she's gonna have some problems. I mean, Nico's not very,
Death
she's
will
not
be
bad
upon
of
her.
a, she's not a bad striker, but she's gonna have to be very technical if she fights Valentina. I mean, she's got that. Nico's got that bull rush kind of forward pressure type thing. And she's gonna have to use that. She's gonna have to keep Valentina on her back foot because if Valentina gets her on her back foot, it's over.
It's a rap, Shan.
It's a wrap. Yeah, it's definitely a wrap. Go ahead and make your point, Brad, because it got cut off while you was making your point.
It's all good. Um, so basically, I mean, everybody knows, everybody's seen Valentina's work. Jillian Roberts hasn't fought anybody, not even close to the caliber of a Valentina Shevchenko. None of those girls have fought the caliber of girl of a Valentina Shevchenko. Those girls are skilled. I will give you that, BJ. Those girls are skilled and they're in the UFC for a reason. But like my good friend always says, John Jones, there's levels to this, bro. Levels to this.
There's levels to it. You're
And
right. You're right.
Valentina is on five levels ahead of these girls, bro.
Or five.
Just five. It's just the random number that popped in my head. But you get my point. She's many levels ahead of those girls. That's my point. My point is she's many levels ahead of those girls.
That's debatable.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Hey, hey, hey! Tell them where you got that line from, Liam.
Man.
Let them know where you got that line from.
Yo Romero, man. Yo Romero said it in his post-fight interview.
Yeah, Yoel Romero.
We definitely stole that from stole that from Brad. We had to take that. But I mean the only
But man, my whole point is, listen, man, those girls are good, but in my opinion, man, they're not on Val's level, man. It's easy money for any of those fights for Val.
so you think
That division first, bro.
so you think any
Those girls have it.
so you think that any girl in that weight class that is paired up against
The
Valentine,
the current roster of that 125-pound division, they cannot fuck with Val.
so you think
They
even
can't.
the Jessica Eyes and the Liz Carmouche, you think she beats all of those girls?
Bro, Jessica Liz Carmouche?
Listen what I'm saying. It's a
listening.
different ball game. It's a different ball game at 125. It's not the same thing. Those
That's
girls
her
were
natural
fighting.
weight class, though.
Yes.
That's
it's
Val's
their-
natural weight class.
But okay, take the names that I just named: Jessica Liz Carmouche, and Valentina Shevchenko.
Huh?
All three of them have been fighting. They've all three been fighting out of their weight class at bantamweight. So imagine
Right,
the
the
difference.
division of above that.
So do you think? So you don't think they're going to
So
fight any
it's
better?
a better
at-
adjustment. Yeah, because Val now she's in her natural weight class. She doesn't have to gain weight to try to carry power to go up to that division.
But so
She
do
gets
they.
to the state. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm just saying, like the ones that I just named, Liz Carmouche, Jessica they were fighting out of their weight class, so they were always at a disadvantage during their fights. So now that they're in their weight class,
comparable to Val's?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the girls at 125 deserve a little bit more credit than what
Them.
the mass is giving them.
Listen, man, I give them credit. The reason why the masses don't give them credit is because what have you seen them do?
Not much. There's not
Who
very
have
much
you seen
coverage.
them?
To be honest, there's not
That's
much
just my
coverage on that
question.
whole division.
Say that. What you say, Liam?
There's not much coverage on that whole the flyweight division for the females.
It's getting
Not
there.
much coverage.
But there's a lot of coverage on
There's a
Valentina.
lot of fights.
You know what Valentina is.
Yeah, of course. But she's like it's like saying there's a lot of coverage on Conor McGregor. He's the star of the sport. He's going to get coverage.
Well,
Right.
there's not style in that division right now that can give problems to Val.
Sarge Eubanks can't give problems to Val.
Nope.
Whoa!
Wait, bro.
She made weight. She just fought Lauren Murphy.
She lost a title shot because she didn't make weight.
She did. She
Who's
lost
That
the title
doesn't
shot.
get any bigger than that.
Sajari, we're talking about Sajari Eubanks, the girl who was supposed to fight Nicco for the
who had a
turnout.
title
Yeah, the
shot
girl who was supposed
and
to
was
fight
not
Nicco.
professional enough to make weight.
Well,
But then she goes and she has one more fight. She struggles to make weight again and barely make weight in a non-title fight, and she looked all right.
You know
But
who's good
she
at
got-
making weight? You know who's good at making weight? Yoel Romero is really good at making weight. I mean, he made it for
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Whoa, shots
Well,
fired.
the funny thing is, he made the weight 0.2 pounds over. They consider that overweight. That's fucking ridiculous, man. 0.2 pounds? Oh,
Not
fuck.
making-
Man, that's ridiculous.
He didn't make weight, bro.
He was 185 on the dot, 0.2, and they called him overweight. That's stupid, man. I don't care. I don't care what point you're from. That's
No, I
crazy.
think 0.2 pounds over is really unprofessional. I think it's really unprofessional.
That's ridiculous. You act like you was 5 or 10 pounds over. That I can understand. He was 0.2 pounds over, bro.
Very unprofessional
That's
fight. Very unprofessional. Very unprofessional.
Very, very unprofessional.
He let down the whole MMA
Yep,
community.
We're not gonna open up that can because Brad, oh boy, Liam, stop.
This is just ridiculous. He
Stop.
already got lucky enough. He got fucking lucky enough that the judges get.
What?
Let alone now he missed weight by 0.2 pounds, man. And it's not a title fight.
We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's alright. It's alright.
We all make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He'll come back better.
Don't worry about it.
He'll come back better than ever. It's all right, Brad. But let's move. We're gonna move on to UFC 226. Now, 226 was hyped up to be one of the biggest cards of the year. Do y'all think it lived up to the hype, or do y'all think no?
Bro, of course it did. You see how many finishes were in the card? We saw a pro kickboxer that got taken out. We saw the heavyweight championship change hands. I mean, what else? The Derek Lewis fight in Francis Ngannou. I'd pay $400 to see that fight again. Just that fight on rerun for 2 hours a day.
Oh my goodness, man! What a letdown that was, man. I mean, you know, the thing with that was,
so
man,
much fun.
that card was kind of doomed when Brian Ortega and Max Holloway didn't happen, because a lot of the hype of 226 was around Brian Ortega and Max Holloway.
Yeah.
So I mean,
There's
so
a lot
that
of hype
definitely
in
took a
general
lot.
around Holloway.
Yeah. So on the prelims, we had a couple good ones. We had TUF 26 finalist Emily Whitmire, who competed on the Ultimate Fighter with Nicco Montano and the rest of those girls. She beat Jamie Moyle via unanimous decision. She's fighting at strawweight now, so it's a little change in direction. I think she stepped up to flyweight just to get on TUF, just to get her way into the UFC. But that was a really good fight. She defeated Jamie Moore. One thing I noticed about Emily Whitmire is she utilized the jab very well. She kept the jab in Jamie Moore's face, and she ended up with the W. Daniel Hooker defeats Gilbert Burns. That was a really good fight. That was a really good fight.
Hooker showed he could throw the punches, but he could take them as well. He could take the big shots, but he could deal out the big shots at the same time. And I think that was really a battle of the chins, because they were both landing on each other. in similar quantities. Like there was no like, oh, he's being outstruck here. You know, it was they're both landing. At the end of the day, Hooker could take the shots and Burns couldn't. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It still was a really good fight, though. I mean, that was pretty good. Did you catch that
That
one,
was a
Brad?
brawl. That was a brawl. I reckon.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Ah, Brad.
After that, we had Curtis Millender defeats Max Griffin via the unanimous. That was a I don't know what to take away from that fight, man. That fight was kind of it wasn't very entertaining to me. It just didn't nothing stood out about that fight. It was a good fight.
I didn't even
Curtis
know that was a thing. I
Millender.
must have missed it. I must have missed that. I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean, it was one of those fights. We're just skimming through the undercard, guys.
Was it a free rounder?
Rafael Sunset. Say what?
Was that a free rounder? Was that a free round decision? Was it?
Yeah, it was a unanimous. He won by, it was 29-28, all three judges for all three rounds. So it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Rafael Asuncao defeats Rob Font. Now that's a big one. After he say what?
He put on a clinic. He showed his number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4, number 12. There's no way you're gonna say, oh, he didn't perform. I mean, he didn't get what he said in the post fight. What did he say? He says, I know I'm not getting the knockouts, but I'm getting the W's. You know, I'm getting the wins. I'm getting the wins. I want my title shot.
Yeah, he called for a title shot. Do you think he deserves? I don't think he quite yet deserves a title shot.
I don't think yet.
I mean,
I think I want to see Morales versus him, because Morales is up and coming, and Cynthia is he's been there for a while, but he's not doing anything spectacular. So I want to see I want to see how Morales does against the top end of the competition, and I want to see how Cynthia does against an up and coming guy. Someone he hasn't been, seeing in the division for a while.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, hit your mute button, buddy. He's calling for a title shot, man, and I just think that maybe he needs a little bit more. I think he needs a couple more fights, because you still got to remember, man. You still got to remember Dominic Cruz. You got to throw Dominic Cruz back into that circle, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing, man. He's shocked that he's lost, and he's just chilling out, biting his. He wants the TJ Cody. He wants the winner. There's no doubt about it. He wants his belt back.
He's a little obsessed with that rivalry right there, and I'm pretty sure he's going to call that fight too.
He's not going to fight for anything other than the belt. I bet you that.
Of course not. I mean, he's the greatest bantamweight champion ever in the UFC. So, I mean, I would definitely.
Uriah Hall. What the fuck? Uriah Faber. What the hell? Uriah Hall. Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber was never champ.
Yeah, no, I was just saying because Uriah.
I mean, he was good. Uriah Faber was good, but he was never a champ.
Yeah, he was the champ.
As far as
he was a champ before Cruz.
No, he fought Cruz. He fought Cruz for the belt. He never won the belt.
No, he was the champ before Cruz.
He was the champ in another organization because they fought in King of the Cage.
All right.
He was never the UFC champ. No, never. So he's calling for nothing but a title shot after the win over Rob Font, which I think maybe he needs a little bit more, for that.
I think if you want the title shot now in this day and age, you want to be putting together a better win streak or more dominant performances or big KOs and submissions. You get thrown up with the submissions. It's performance of the night. If you get performance of the nights, then you're gonna get the title shots. That's what I reckon.
And you can't beat a number 12 person.
Yeah.
You can't beat a number 12 person and expect to get a title shot. I mean, you got to beat somebody in the top 5, top 3, even top 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to beat somebody higher up in the scales before you.
It's like Usman. Usman, he beat he beat Maia. He did beat him, but it wasn't anything extraordinary that he deserves like a straight up path. He acted like it was give me a shot in the top 3 guys,
Yeah, he beat he's beaten a over the hill broken Damian Maia, definitely. I mean, Kobe Covington, to me, I think Kobe Covington broke Damian Maia. I mean,
Yeah,
he beat up Damian, you know, and I hated to see that because Damian's Damian, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely hated to see that. But then you have Drakkar Close defeats Lando Venata via unanimous decision. That was a good fight too. He kind of ran away with that fight though because I mean the judges scored it 30-27. He kind of ran away with that fight. You know, that was pretty much like that was
Dominant?
a pretty easy win for him. Dominant? It was a pretty dominant win. Yeah, it was a good fight. Striking
or grappling?
Pretty dominant.
Striking.
Striking. Most definitely striking. Yeah. You probably definitely
is he
striking.
kickboxing background, the guy?
Yes. Who you talking about? Drakkar Close?
The winner, yeah. The winner, yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely. Now this one, the preliminary. I mean the feature preliminary bout, which was Paulo Costa
that was a good
Uriah
fight.
Hall. Oh my God, dude! Oh my goodness! So tell me what you thought about that fight, and because I'm gonna make sure that I'm on the right track when I say what I say. So go ahead, let me hear what you got to say about that fight.
Man. I thought Hall had that for the first couple of rounds. He was technically much better. He was technically much better than Paulo Costa. Costa was getting. I mean, how many times did he get hit in the face by that straight jab? You know, how many times did he get hit in the face by a straight jab? He was bleeding in the first round.
Yes. So do you think Costa was just kind of? Do you think Costa was just feeling him out? Because Uriah Hall is a dangerous opponent. Like Uriah Hall's not a slouch.
I think Costa was getting outstruck. I don't think he was feeling him out. I think it looked to me Costa has a lot of power, and he is very physical presence in the octagon. But in terms of
he's big, man. He's a big guy.
I think because he relies so much on his right hand, you know, or is it right or left? Is it a right shot? His power.
It's his right. It's his right.
Yeah. So he's relies so much on the right hand. It's like he believes he can knock everyone out inside the octagon. So he doesn't. His defense. I think his defense. If I was Paulo Costa going away from this fight, I would say, look, my right hand works. It works on his top level opponents, but my defense needs to be up there because some of those boys that he's going to come up against, they've got knockout power. I mean, you don't call Robert Whittaker Bobby Knuckles for nothing. And who else is there? Romero. I mean, if Paulo Costa
Romero,
goes in there with an open guard against Romero, he's going to get slept. He can't.
Look at Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, Kelvin Gastelum, you know, it charges forward on Paulo Costa like that. I mean, you can't
take shots against these guys. And the less shots you take on the way up, the better.
Say that one more time.
I said the less shots you take up on the way up, the better. If you're taking all these big shots on the way up in your career, your chin's deteriorating slowly and slowly. By the time you get in that championship thing, you're the ream. You get hit by a jab and you go down. You're out. You don't want to be Luke Rockhold, you know?
Yeah, man. It takes nothing for people to knock Luke Rockhold out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. You know, but it was like the first couple rounds. No, the first round, because it only went to round 2. It was like Uriah Hall was definitely landing. Yeah. The jab was making it through. I mean, it was landing. That jab was landing, and it was busting Paulo Costa up. But it was like the second round, like Paulo Costa is like he figured Uriah Hall out. Like he hit Uriah Hall a couple of times, and it kind of rocked him a little bit, you know. Like, and then I knew Paulo Costa had power. But man, it was like Uriah Hall pissed him off in that octagon. Like he charged forward, and he started throwing those hooks, man. And you just seen Uriah Hall's energy just go down.
I like his body shots, man.
Man, did you see those? But even he started hitting Uriah Hall with the body shots, and Uriah Hall returned the body shots. Like he started throwing. Yeah. He started throwing hard body shots back, but it was a significant difference in power, man. I mean, yes.
I think Costa is a very good offensive boxer, his defense is a lot to be, his defense is a lot to be improved. But I actually was interested to see if one of them took each other down because we haven't seen much ground game from either of those two. When Uriah took him down, I wanted to stay down for a bit because I just wanted to see
what he could
the
do.
ground game was, because neither of them has spent much time on the ground in their UFC fights. They've always been kind of stand-up guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Uriah, I just feel technically Uriah is a better fighter. He was a better fighter. So I just feel like if Uriah had taken him down, there's a good chance that in the ground game, if they stayed on the ground, Uriah could have won that fight. I just feel that.
Do you think that Paulo Costa broke Uriah Hall?
Broke him?
Because that was bad. Do you think he broke him?
What do you mean? Like he's not going to come back proper?
No, I'm just saying. Like, do you think he took a piece of him away out of in that octagon?
No, I don't think it was that dominant enough to take a piece away. I don't think it was that crazy enough. He wasn't getting demolished for 2 rounds. He got rocked and dropped. That's UFC. He's not gonna go home and go, I mean, there's a lot of positives Uriah had from that fight. He's not gonna go home and say my career's over. I'm not gonna win. I mean, he's come back from a health scare. This is him coming back from a hospitalization, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he goes in the ring.
His last weight cut was pretty tough. He had some big time medical issues with that.
I mean, we can't. I mean, I feel like Uriah Hall's still got a lot of potential in this division, but I don't know. I think mentally Uriah Hall holds back too much. I think mentally he's not there.
He's lost some.
Also, when he
was
doing the
go ahead.
Yeah, when he was throwing, I think I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast with Israel Adesanya. And I think Adesanya was talking about it. And he was doing the jab, but he wasn't setting anything up with the jab. It was a constant jab. It was like the guy knew he was there, but he wasn't capitalizing on his jab. He could have, if he'd thrown a couple of combinations, he didn't. There was very little combinations thrown by Uriah in that fight. And I feel like if he had thrown those combinations, he could have done a lot better in that ring than he did.
And if he could have been first in attacking the body, because he didn't start attacking Paulo Costa's body until Paulo Costa started attacking his body, and Paulo Costa was landing hard shots. But USADA is testing Paulo Costa a lot. Has he had trouble with USADA in the past?
I think looking at him, he does look like. I mean, he's got that kind of. He's got a similar. He's a big guy, He's got a lot of muscle for a middleweight,
Yeah, he does.
And I think it's like kind of Yoel Romero situation. Like they've never really proved that he's been doing stuff, but I mean, because
he looks like it.
Yeah, he looks like he's on something that he shouldn't be. That would definitely be a red flag for USADA. That guy he's either very generic. He's not Tyron Woodley, but he's either because Tyron Woodley's explosive. He suits that, but like Costa almost I don't know. Just he seems almost his strength and power. It almost seems too good to be true.
Yeah, especially for that weight class.
Yeah, because his size. I mean, he's in the 84 kilo division, but he's got. I mean, his legs aren't that big, to be honest. That guy, he's like a John Jones kind of type. It's he's got like a big upper body, lower. I think to be honest, he's got an upper body of a light heavyweight, and the lower body of just a middleweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Definitely.
I could definitely agree with that. But
because those leg kicks.
But
Paul was hitting him with leg kicks, and it wasn't. It was getting effective. All right.
Yeah, it was. But I'm curious to see who they match Paulo Costa with next, especially with the win.
Israel called him out. Adesanya called him out.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Costa's gonna lose, man.
Who?
Costa will lose if he faces Adesanya. He's gonna lose.
Dude, if do you think Israel Adesanya can deal with the power? Can he deal with the power of Paulo Costa?
I think Israel Adesanya will slip every one of Costa's shots and kick him to another world.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. That one's up in for me. That's up in the air, man. Because I seen a different Paulo Costa the other night than what I'm used to than what I've seen in the past.
I think if technically Uriah Hall can beat Costa, I think if technically Uriah Hall is better than Costa, I think Adesanya has. I don't see him losing. If Uriah Hall can beat Costa technically, why would Adesanya have a problem? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a lot of power, man. And Israel Adesanya doesn't throw with that much power. I mean, he does, but he doesn't throw with the power that Paulo Costa throws with, dude. And it's stylistically and technically, yes, he is a better fighter than Paulo Costa. But when it comes to power and build and strength, I'm pretty sure Paulo Costa has the advantage in that.
What does McGregor say? Accuracy beats power, and speed beats strength, isn't it?
It does, yeah. That's the truth. Yeah, he does say that, and it's worked for him. So yeah, you might be right. Next, we're gonna go on to the main card, which was the first the first fight of the night was on the main card was Khalil Roundtree versus Gokhan Saki. What you think about that, man?
I think Saki got put in his place. He came out here and he said he was a kickboxing guy. He came out as he's the stand-up guy. You don't want to stand with him. And Roundtree just said, "Yeah, all right, man. Sounds good." We just cleaned him up and walked away. And I think also Saki when he got knocked, I don't know if he knew what to do. When you saw it when he landed on the ground, it was a very feeble attempt at defending himself on the ground. It was just kind of be bundled up in a ball and covered his face. I mean, I don't think Saki was rocked that hard by that hit by Roundtree, but I think his defense on the ground when he got dropped was just so weak in comparison to a normal UFC fighter would be. I think he's used to I've got knocked down, I'm going to have a 5-second respite from the ref, and then they're going to let me fight again. Rather than I've got knocked down, I've got to defend for my life.
Yeah. That's right. But Khalil Roundtree, man, he's trying to put in the work to get there.
Man, he's a dangerous guy.
And yeah, he is a dangerous guy. And a win over Gokhan Saki definitely puts his name on the map, dude. It definitely puts it there because there's a lot of hype behind Gokhan Saki now. So
I think his debut, Roundtree's debut was crazy when he went the TUF and he lived with that guy while he's on the floor. That was one of the most brutal finishes I've ever seen.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh yeah.
He just booted that guy in the ribs until that guy tapped.
I see Khalil Roundtree. Definitely see Khalil Roundtree being a top competitor. Once he rounds out his game, I definitely see him becoming a top competitor. Man, he just has to get to that level of experience, man. But I've been watching Khalil Roundtree. Go ahead.
I don't see him at the he's not exactly he's not going to be in the Gustafsson, DC, Anthony Johnson pool, but he's going to be in the kind of I reckon he'll be in the he's light heavyweight, right? Yeah, I think he's going to be more around the Jimmy Manuwa, that kind of area, that
Jimmy,
that
man, I forgot about Jimmy Manuwa.
I think he's going to be around that kind of region. Like, I'm pretty good, but I'm not title contention yet.
Yeah. We'll see, man.
His chin's to be questioned. He's got really good power, but he gets hit, he gets dropped.
He's been knocked out.
Yeah, Ozdemir, Johnson. I mean, who else has knocked him out?
That's what I was gonna say. Ozdemir.
Yeah, a bunch of people I think, but he's got a lot of power. But I mean, if you got
that's why I said that's why I said once he rounds out his game, Khalil Roundtree rounds out his game, dude, he'll be definitely a competitor, and I can't wait to see when
he's a wrestler that just knocked out a kickboxer champion.
Yes.
So
definitely,
yeah.
Most definitely.
Who's the next fight? Is that what was the next fight?
The next fight was Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, I mean, Anthony Pettis looked. I mean, Michael Chiesa was a little upset because he missed weight, and he said that this was his last fight at lightweight. So he said he's not fighting at lightweight anymore. He said he's definitely going to go back up because Yeah, because he said it's hard for him to make that weight.
Yeah.
And he missed it by. He didn't miss it by much though. He missed it by like 2 pounds, but
Yeah.
he said that's definitely his last fight there. But Anthony, I mean, hats off to Anthony Pettis for looking good. This was a win that Anthony Pettis needed. He needed this win. He definitely needed this win.
He submitted a grappler.
Yes.
And he's a stand-up guy.
Yes.
He's a kickboxer, and he submitted a grappler.
Yes.
And he
needed that.
I mean, he was fighting Holloway for
what?
the title. For the interim.
Well, he was
off the face.
Who, Anthony
Yeah,
Pettis?
he lost to Holloway. And then he just kind of vanished from the media. I didn't hear anything about Pettis since the Holloway fight.
Well, he went on a losing streak.
Did he?
When he lost the belt, he went on a losing streak, and he got knocked down in the rankings and whatnot. And now that he's back in the win column, he needs to keep going. The game plan that he had fighting Michael Chiesa, the drive, the attitude that he had. That's the attitude that he needs to keep if he wants to see himself back.
He was good out there.
Yeah, he was. He looked comfortable. He looked rested. Say what?
Like when he landed the jab and the cross, and then he went for the knee. He almost landed that knee. If he landed that knee, it would have been a KO, not a submission.
It would have been a knockout. It would have been a knockout. Yeah, and Michael Chiesa. I don't want to take anything away from Michael Chiesa. I just think that he probably was a little defeated about the weight cut issue and having to switch. He's going to have to switch classes. I think that kind of got in his head, but yeah, he did. But when before a fight, I'm pretty sure your head has to be pretty clear, and that kind of clouded his thing. Because they had to go back into negotiations and all this stuff. After the weigh-ins and all that stuff. So all that was in his mind. If he was focused, he could have put on a much better performance, I think.
He seemed almost too pumped. Like it was like he charged out there in the first opening. He kind of gave it his all, and then after a while, we realized he couldn't really put Pettis away. And then he started backing off, and he slowed down. And then Pettis started capitalizing. I think that's what happened. I think he went out there and he wanted to finish early, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah. So what do you think about the next fight? This was a good one. Mike Perry versus Paul Felder.
Oh man, I thought Perry lost that. I didn't think Perry won. But Perry did win.
A lot of people are saying that. But Paul Felder got he had the injury.
He did, but it was a very. I mean, the injuries he got, they were really early in the fight. And
Brad, he's back. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
They were all kind of like they looked worse than they were,
Yeah.
They were cuts from vicious elbows, but they weren't like, he's walking around in his own. It wasn't. He's doing chicken leg Kevin Lee moves, It was just he's been cut and he's dealing with it. It wasn't that guy almost got cleaned up just then. He's almost a KO on the canvas,
Yeah. Well, it was he's out with an injury to his arm too, So he's got a broken arm.
Did he break his arm? Like that. Did he break his arm?
Yeah. But it was a split decision. It was a split decision, and I honestly think that I thought Paul Felder won that fight too. I was leaning toward Paul Felder. I mean, what was it?
Perry was good. I'm not going to take anything away from Perry. He did a good fight. Felder, I thought, was a little bit more dominant. Perry was his takedown was very good. It was a DC style takedown. He got clasped the hand between the legs and flipped him over. That was very good. I mean, he didn't do anything really with it, but it was very good. I think he's training at Jackson Week now.
Yeah,
and he's doing those oblique kicks, and he's doing a lot of the elbows like those guys tend to do.
What do you think about Mike Perry's performance, Brad?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought he fought well. He fought like a Greg Jackson fighter fights.
Yeah.
Smart, tactics. Yeah, I like the way he fought. He was good. Felder, I thought, fought good for his debut at welterweight as well. He took that fight on short notice, didn't he? He was a replacement for Mike Perry. I thought he fought well fighting the bigger guy. For sure, I think it's still 155.
Felder.
That's his
But
natural way.
it was very, very entertaining fight.
And that's what you would expect out of somebody like Mike Perry. Usually, when Mike Perry steps into the octagon, it's a pretty entertaining.
I think he's
fight.
better. I think that was the best Mike Perry fight I've seen.
He's a
You
Florida
talking
boy
the best
too.
the best Mike Perry?
I mean, the best technical Mike Perry fight.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he's
Yeah.
at Jackson.
Not
Wink.
for sure,
No,
definitely from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
The excitement I don't think he fought with that same ferocity that he normally fights with,
But it's smarter.
which
It's smarter.
obviously, it fought smarter. It rewarded him in the past when he fought, obviously, lower ranked opponents. Now with him actually having a game plan and he's not listening to his girlfriend in the corner, he looked like, when you have Greg Jackson in your corner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a big difference. Big difference.
I
And
think
he fought like he fought like he was actually trying to win instead of trying to be a crowd pleaser. I think in the past Mike Perry's he's tried to be a crowd pleaser with the knockout. He's a knockout artist. He's got knockouts on his record. Yeah. I think he was just trying to be a crowd pleaser. But this time, I think Jackson Wink, they made him focus on what he was actually doing and follow the game plan and get the job done. And that was, to me, that was the best Mike Perry I've seen in a long time.
I think that was the best Mike Perry I've ever seen. I think.
Yeah.
He was a smarter fighter. He was a better fighter.
Yeah. So next up, which was supposed to, next up was the co-main event. Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis defeats Francis Ngannou via unanimous decision. Go ahead, guys. I'm gonna let y'all.
Lewis was trying. Lewis was trying, man. Lewis wanted to make exchanges. He was actively pursuing. What's it called? Counters. And his back was put out in the first round. He put his back out in the first round, and he still threw more punches than Ngannou did. He still had more attempts than Ngannou did.
I don't know what was up with Ngannou in that fight, but he did say afterwards, post fight, he did say that he carried a lot of fear from the fight with Stipe into this fight. He did say that.
Look, I think
Ngannou, you gotta be. I mean,
it's almost like Hall. You know Uriah Hall?
Yeah.
When he came out the first couple of times in the UFC, and he was smashing everyone, and then something happened mentally, and he just couldn't do these finishes anymore. It's like, I hope that doesn't happen in Ngannou. But I think Joe Rogan said it best. He said, this guy doesn't need a trainer. This guy needs to see a sports psychologist.
Yeah.
Well said. No. Yeah, I was completely speechless. Yep. I was completely speechless during that fight. Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be honest. I thought somebody was going to get their head knocked clean off in that fight, and waited for that moment, and it never came. And Derek Lewis has had that back injury for a long time. He's been fighting with that back injury for, I'm pretty sure, since the beginning of his UFC career, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he still hasn't got it fixed. He's got to get that. He's got to get that fixed for sure. But he fought the best he could, and I thought that was the right decision too, man. And Ngannou, I can't believe that guy fought like that.
It was like a completely different person than the last Ngannou we've seen.
Wow.
But then again, but put yourself in Ngannou's shoes though. Okay, Stipe didn't finish him, but it's bad enough having Stipe
5 rounds of getting your face smashed in. Yeah,
He's 5
Right.
rounds to what he shouldn't do.
Right, but think about
Stipe
it.
beat the hell out of him, man.
Take your mind back to when Derek Lewis fought Travis Brown. When he got on top of Travis Brown, it was hell for Travis Brown. I mean,
Smashed him.
Yes. So imagine going through what's going through Ngannou's mind. If we somehow fall and this guy gets on top of me, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And to me, it was just like they respected each other's power too much in that fight. Go ahead.
I think the fight was like. I was with. I liked it, but not for the reasons of the fact that it was not for the reason that it was there was obviously no action and there wasn't much stuff to look at, but I liked the fact it kind of showed that both the fighters were smarter. You know what I mean? They both came out.
Yes.
They came out both with smarter approaches, smarter game plans than usual. Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou are both guys who they run through and they just want to take people's heads off, and they came in and they were too cautious. But I liked the level of cautiousness they brought into the game, because it kind of showed them developing as fighters themselves. You know, they've gone from just brawlers to, look, I've got to think about what this guy's going to do. They wanted to counter each other. I think that's the problem with this fight. I think they both wanted to counter each other, but they couldn't go with that game plan because neither of them were throwing a large amount of strikes.
They had the same game plan. That's what I think. They had the exact same game plan.
They were
because
both counter.
Yeah, because Derek Lewis learned from the Mark Hunt fight.
Yeah.
Not to be so reckless, and Francis Ngannou learned from the Stipe fight not to be so reckless. So I just think that they were both in a way. I think they were both kind of scarred from those losses. But I think Francis Ngannou was a little more scarred because Derek Lewis was the one trudging forward. You know, he was trying to engage Ngannou, and he even when he did engage, it was like they would exchange a couple of strikes, and then Ngannou immediately was backing up out of the way. Like, I don't know if it was any other fighter besides who was the one that was standing across from. Let's say, for instance, it was Tuivasa in there with Derek Lewis. Tuivasa, he would have forced Derek Lewis to fight, and if he was in there with Ngannou, he would have forced Ngannou to fight. And I think that both of them had this. So, yeah, Mark Hunt as well. Absolutely, yes.
Bring it.
Go ahead.
Mark Hunt and Tuivasa are the guys you want to fight. If the guy's not bringing it, they have to bring it if they go against those two guys. Because those guys press forward the entire time, and they don't give a crap if they're clipped. They keep going forward. They don't care,
No.
You guys also remember the pressure of them being moved up to the co-main event now too.
Yeah.
Both of them, even though Ngannou's been on that big stage with Stipe, but they kind of got moved up on short notice, and man,
very short notice.
That factored in a little bit, but I agree with Liam. I didn't look at it from that aspect though. Liam brought something up. They were both very tactical too. It's like they were also trying to show their game, but they just nullified each other pretty much.
Yeah, like they canceled each other out.
Yeah, I like that. I like that aspect. I didn't think about that the whole time because when you think of those two, you think, all right, damn. You look at their highlight reel, it's ridiculous. But then, when they fought a good tactical fighter like a Stipe and even Mark Hunt to a certain extent too, those guys were able to take advantage of Derek Lewis and Ngannou when they have those kind of timid moments. They're kind of a shell of themselves at certain points in their fights. But if they don't get that knockout in the first, I feel like the first minute or two, they just kind of coast, I guess.
Well, now that Tuivasa has the win over Arlovsky, do you think that Tuivasa versus Derek Brown is a fight that makes sense?
Against who?
Versus Derek Lewis?
Tuivasa versus Derek Lewis. Do you think that's a fight? Do y'all think that's a fight that makes sense?
I think
that would be a fantastic fight.
Say what, Brad?
I think Lewis might be out for injury, man. To be honest, his back was. He kept going on about he needs to recover first.
I know that. But what I'm saying is, for his next fight, period. Even after the recovery, do you think that his next fight should be Tuivasa?
I think the next fight for Tuivasa should be Blades. They're both up and coming. They're both young. I think it makes sense.
Curtis Blades, Razor Blades. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Makes sense, You want to put
so
up and coming guys against each other.
So who do you think takes that? Who do you think takes Blades to Tuivasa? Or Lewis to Tuivasa? Or Lewis Blades?
Tuivasa, Lewis, or Lewis.
So you think they both beat Curtis Blades?
I think they both beat Curtis Blades, but I think Lewis and Tuivasa. I think maybe Lewis. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough of Tuivasa yet. Blades fought Arlovski.
Go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry. Hello.
Brad.
Go ahead, Brad.
Brad.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now.
Hear me? There we go. Damn. I was trying. I'm like yelling at the phone. I'm like, Curtis Blades.
Hey, Brad, connect to the Wi-Fi, bro. Connect to the Wi-Fi, Brad.
Curtis Blades. Both can't hear me.
Hey, Brad, on your phone, swipe down from the top and hit the Wi-Fi button.
Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear
We can hear you now.
Talk quickly while it's still good.
All right. No, I was just saying Curtis Blades beats both of them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Yep.
Bruh.
Easy.
How?
Derek
Bro,
Lewis.
his wrestling is so much better than theirs.
Well, then you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta
true.
throw in that back injury. Do you really think that Derek Lewis can tussle and grapple with that back injury with someone as explosive as Curtis Blades?
Heck, that's where I think the disadvantage is at.
Yeah, because that back injury,
And that's
you
what-
got to use a lot of back strength when you're in
I
those
think
grappling
Blades does
exchanges.
it
For
better.
sure.
I think Blades just a better.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I think Lewis and Tuivasa have better striking than him.
Than
Yes.
Curtis Blades,
Yeah,
most definitely.
I do
yes.
agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
I would say Tuivasa too. I would say Tuivasa is a better striker than Blades.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
I said that.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
Tuivasa versus Lewis?
I could see Tuivasa beating Lewis just because on the cardio thing. Because in Tuivasa's last fight with Arlovski, his cardio, and he was getting taking some damage from Andre Arlovski. I mean, and his cardio held up, dude. He never faded.
But
He never
Lewis's cardio is
faded.
good as well, man.
Lewis's cardio is good too, but in the
Yeah.
Travis Brown fight,
He's underrated.
In the Travis Brown fight, he was fading just a little bit.
Lewis
from
and
those
Hunt,
bodies.
bro. Lewis and Hunt.
What about it?
Lewis's cardio was pretty good. He was throwing flying kicks when he was in round 3.
Yeah, he was. And Lewis can throw a head kick. Who would have thought that?
Man. He can throw a jumping head kick. A jumping head kick. Bro, I was at the bar, and people were like
That was
sitting
wild.
there
I was pretty fucking impressed.
You know? Like,
Say
he
what?
got off
What'd
the
you say,
ground.
Liam?
People were like, I didn't expect that. I did not expect him to get off the ground. He threw a taekwondo head kick at someone, and he's 100 and something fucking kilos. And he's not 100 and something
Yeah, he's
kilos
a big
lean. He's chunky.
He's a big boy.
He's not fucking lean. He's not Francis Ngannou. He's a chunky 100 and something kilos, bro.
Yeah, he is. He's a big boy. He's a big. What do y'all think about when Fabricio Verdum threw that? Was that at Stipe when the first round started? He threw that
No,
jumping
that was
kick.
Travis
And
Brown.
did he-
That was Travis Brown.
was it Travis Brown?
Yeah, kicked him in the head. First
Who?
round.
When
First
Verdum
round.
threw the kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that fight live. That fight was in Orlando.
Dude, that was wild.
Yeah, he ran at Travis Brown and tried to throw some movie-style karate kick out of nowhere. It was wild.
But it landed.
But actually, it landed. It did.
Yeah.
It definitely did. Travis Brown ate it like a Cheerio, but you know,
It's funny.
So,
we all
okay.
know the rest from there. Verdum actually was very he impressed me in that fight with his stand-up, how technical he was against Travis Brown.
He got caught by
What'd you say, Liam?
He got caught by Uzada Verdum.
Was
When,
it
recently?
after that fight?
Yeah.
Really?
Recently, like a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? A couple weeks ago. Caught by Uzada.
Oh yeah. Liam's right.
I missed that one.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe he's using steroids in his calves to get those flying kicks, man.
Oh shit.
So okay, so on to the main
Here we
event
go.
of the evening. Daniel Cormier, world light
I
heavyweight.
just want to show y'all
What is it?
the Cain Velasquez walkout shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hey.
Cardio
right,
Cain
man.
in DC, man.
That's all right. I'm gonna get my gear together, man. But dude, DC defeats Stipe Miocic via first round KO.
All I gotta
Who
say
was
is
expecting
I'm
that?
not surprised, guys. I'm not surprised, mother.
He
Go ahead,
dominated.
Liam.
He beat him. It wasn't like he just beat him. He beat him. There's no
question.
argument. There's no question. He beat him in the first round. You know. But I was shocked. I thought Stipe was going to win. I thought Stipe was advertised as a better boxer. Stipe was advertised as having the reach. He was advertised as having the power. And DC had all three. Except the reach.
The thing with DC, the thing.
But this is why I was telling y'all, size doesn't matter in a fight like that because of DC's credentials, man. That's why I picked DC when we were, picking our fights because he just has that wrestling advantage is massive. And even though he didn't wrestle Stipe,
he won because of wrestling.
He still used aspects of wrestling to set up his striking. You know what I'm saying? Like how he baited him. He went limp arm, baited Stipe into thinking that he was going to clinch him and slam the right down the pipe. It was little tactics like that.
That's the thing. I think Stipe was expecting to engage in the wrestling part.
Yes.
When Stipe pinned DC against the cage, he was winning. His weight and his height was winning.
Yeah. For sure. He hit DC with some good shots.
Yeah, he hit him with some good shots, and then you got the eye poke, of course. The eye poke started happening, and those are if you look at Stipe's face, those are fingernail gouges in his face. So it seems
some of them were.
People are saying
not all of them.
Some people are.
I think there's a couple. There's a couple eye pokes in that card. Oh, what's his name got done as well? Hey, Oh no, we didn't talk about this. Costa got done by groin kicks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did. A couple of times actually, but DC was gouging Stipe,
man.
And Stipe was just Stipe was, and Stipe said it. He said the first couple of times he said it was what it was. It didn't get my eyes, it got my face. But then the last couple of times it was in his eyes. And then after we couldn't really see it from the view that we get. But after the fight, dude, you could see the fingernail gouges in Stipe's face. And some people are saying that DC. Some people are saying DC cheated, but Stipe was such a class act gentleman that he is, man. He took that defeat.
Look, I think that eye pokes was definitely an issue of that fight that led up to that.
It was. It definitely was.
But I mean, Brad, come on, if you get an eye poke in one eye, your vision's bad and you're on one side.
He definitely eye poked him, but you guys are making it seem like he eye poked him on every occasion. He landed shots to cut his face up too. And the eye pokes were an issue one time. They stopped it. They continued to fight, dude. They're fighting with open hand gloves.
But after that stoppage with the eye poke, before the stoppage of the eye poke, he had already gouged him like 2 or 3 times, dude, like around his eyes.
So he didn't already gouged him. He didn't land any punches to Stipe's face.
No. He landed punches. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
But punches also attributed to those marks to his face.
But those punches weren't hard enough punches to cut someone. The punches
Oh,
that
for
DC
sure they
landed,
were, bro.
But
the first couple minutes, Rogan was already calling that Stipe's face was cut from just regular jabs DC was throwing.
But DC baited. DC's very smart. He baited. He knew that Stipe was going to be more than willing to engage in the wrestling because they both come from wrestling. They both come from wrestling, wrestling backgrounds.
Yeah.
But he was he baited Stipe in on the
Look,
wrestling.
DC's boxing
And-
surprised me.
Yes, yes, it did because that him baiting Stipe into the clinch
Yeah.
was what won him the fight.
But his
Reggie
boxing
the
was
Tree.
good, man. Boxing was good, man.
Reggie the Tree says Team DC all day. Was not surprised when I saw DC beat Josh Barnett. I knew Stipe would lose. I didn't think Stipe would lose, man. I really thought play it smart. Keep
I think that's Brad. I think Brad just left the call to comment that, and he's coming back now. I think that's Brad. He's left the call. He's logged his own Facebook. He's commenting, and then he's coming back.
I just think Stipe played it smart. I mean, I think DC played it smart, man. He knew that he couldn't let he knew he couldn't let Stipe stay at range, you know, because if Stipe stayed at range, he would have beat DC. It would have been a decision fight, and he probably would have knocked DC out. But DC was smart to get the fight in close to him.
They were rocking each other.
Yes, they were rocking each other. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. So what do you think is next for DC and Stipe? Liam.
Lesnar, bro. What do you mean? It's DC Lesnar. And it's Stipe versus. I reckon Volkov deserves a shot. I mean, give him Volkov. Why not? Stipe Volkov.
My bad, guys. My phone just died on me. God damn it.
It's all right, bro. We saw your.
Say what, Brad?
I said my phone just died. God damn it.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. I was saying, what do you think? Give us your thoughts on DC Stipe. What's next for those guys? Or well, first of all, tell us what you think about how the fight went. For one,
okay.
You cut out all the time.
Listen, I definitely agree with you guys that those eye pokes in certain situations that they were in definitely factor in for sure. For sure. His eyes were cut up. You can definitely see marks of fingernails or what have you. But DC still did, he did what he had to do. He landed shots in there that were cutting him up. Aside from the finger gouging, he had cuts underneath his eyes too, just from when they were engaged, when they were clinched, and then the finish, of course, when he knocked out Miocic, and then he got a couple shots on the ground. All those contributed to his marks on his face as well. As far as the fight, I thought Stipe was winning the first couple exchanges. He was using his range, and he landed some good shots as DC was trying to close the distance on him. And I thought DC would actually end up running into a power shot. Maybe I was waiting for Stipe to kind of set some traps I was waiting for Miocic to set traps for DC, but I guess it just never really came to fruition, DC got
probably would have.
What was that?
I just think.
I said I think you're right. I think Miocic would have set traps, but I think it was too early in the fight for him to do it. I think
it was too early.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
early.
Yeah.
I think DC came out firing. He came out firing, and I don't think Stipe was quite ready for that. I think Stipe was kind of hoping that it would be like a slow start, and it was fireworks right away. Right away.
Yeah.
And I think that if DC would have not been so willing to engage in the clinch and grappling in the wrestling with DC, I think the fight would have lasted a whole lot longer. Because I think Stefan Struve, see, that's what's kind of confusing because I want to think that Stefan Struve is the one who broke Stipe's
Stefan can crack, man. He can crack.
Yeah. I want to say that he broke Stipe's chin, but Stipe took hits from Francis Ngannou and didn't drop. He stumbled, but he didn't drop.
Yeah. I don't think it's his
kind of like.
problem. I think DC's just powerful as shit.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Everybody's sleeping on DC. He was undefeated at heavyweight, and think of the monsters that he whooped in their prime. You know what I'm saying? If he would have stayed at heavyweight, only reason he didn't stay at heavyweight was because of Kane.
You know that show?
Go ahead, Liam.
You got the UFC talk show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got that segment on the talk show, which they have the bag to demonstrate boxing power, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
DC has the record.
He was second. Yeah, Derek Lewis broke his record.
Yeah, Derek Lewis was the only person to break that record. Yep.
Yeah, Derek Lewis broke DC's record on that show.
Yeah, but that was Derek Lewis at heavyweight and DC at light heavyweight.
Right.
So do you think that
he beat him by 1 point?
Do you think DC's power translates differently from light? Wait a minute, hold on. Reggie the Tree, thank you, Reggie, for the support, man. DC. Real quick, I just kind of want to make a point, guys, and I've been trying to make this point. I've been wanting to make this point for a while on our podcast. If people who are watching, if you come and watch our podcast and you express your opinion on our podcast, just so you know, and this is not shade at anybody, just so you know, we would never shade you because you don't agree with what we're saying. We're completely okay. We're okay with people not agreeing with what we say, because there's been other podcasts who shade people because they don't agree. All of their fault, they don't agree. They shade people. So just want you to know, when you come to our channel, we don't shade anybody just because you don't agree. Yeah, so I just wanted to get that. I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. But anyway,
the worst case scenario.
Hold on, Liam. Reggie the Tree says DC fought the scariest fighter ever in John Jones twice. He went in with no fear of Stipe. Do y'all think that's right?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I picked him.
John Jones is the GOAT.
Reggie, I think that was a very good comment.
Dude, he's already good input. Thing we forget too about DC, he's 39 years old, bro. 39 years old, and he's doing this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So let me ask y'all this question then, with that same comment, going into a fight with no fear. Is that how y'all think that somebody has to? This leads me to my next topic. We're not quite done with the DC talk yet, but do y'all think that is how somebody has to come into the ring with Cyborg with just no fear whatsoever, just go in guns blazing and just go at it?
Cyborg, the women's champion you're talking about?
I was saying, do y'all think that going in the octagon with no fear? Do y'all think that is the way that somebody who is that what it's going to take to defeat somebody like Cyborg? Is just going in with just no fear?
Because look at Ngannou. He came in with no fear, and he just got picked apart. When he went against Stipe, he didn't.
Facts.
He had no fear at all, man. That guy was like, I'm going to knock him out in the first 30 seconds.
Facts. That's facts. That's true.
Yep.
So does that make so where does let me ask y'all this, does that make Stipe the GOAT? I mean, does that make DC the GOAT, and where does John Jones fit into all of this?
Jones is the GOAT. I think Jones is the best.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Liam. Jones is the GOAT, man.
He said every fight you win is a notch on my belt.
DC's the second GOAT.
Yeah, but
always to John. He'll be GOAT B. Jones is GOAT A, all right?
Brad, I hate you, dude. Get off. End the call right now, bro. You're done, bro. He said DC is the GOAT B. Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay, so
man, DC deserves his respect, man. That dude deserves his respect. He did something that John didn't do, but John beat the shit out of him twice. It's just as simple as that.
So how do you think?
Jones
go ahead.
Doesn't come back. DC is the GOAT right now until Jones returns. Until Jones comes back, DC is the GOAT. That's it. Until Jones comes back, DC is the GOAT. Unless Lesnar fucks shit up, DC is the GOAT.
So how do you think that the fight would differ between DC and John Jones? How do you think it would differ? The fight would be different with DC and John Jones at heavyweight versus light heavyweight. I think that it'll be. I think those inside, because if you watch the DC John Jones fights, both of them, when DC gets John Jones in close to him and he lands those uppercuts and those hooks inside, I think it'll translate a little differently when it gets to heavyweight, because he obviously just knocked out. He just knocked out Stipe Miocic, and John Jones ate all of those punches from DC. So,
yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, and you would think the power. You would think he would have greater power at 205. Going down a weight class, actually. But it's actually the opposite for Daniel Cormier. he's got power at heavyweight, which, like Liam said, that's a massive difference fighting John Jones at heavyweight. Because maybe John Jones at heavyweight is not able to take a shot like he's able to take a shot at 205.
Maybe John Jones ain't taking the power. He might
Right.
have more power, Jones might have.
Right. True.
If
True.
DC
Do you
has
think John
power,
Jones?
why would
Do you
Jones
think?
not have more power?
Do you think a clean John Jones has more power at heavyweight, or do you think it's the opposite for John Jones? Think it'll be him carrying? Because John Jones has a thinner frame. Do you think those extra 30, 40 pounds would? How you think that would be on John Jones?
That's a great question, BJ. I think it's the opposite for Jones. I think his power is better at 205.
I think Jones
I think
has
the same way, bro.
Jones has the body of a heavyweight, and he's the legs of like a
Right.
welterweight. That's
Yes,
why he's a
right,
heavyweight.
yes.
If Jones packed on more on his upper body, I don't know. I think he's already got a lot on his upper. He's already got a fair amount,
Yeah.
But I mean, if he
He
did,
can deadlift like a motherfucker. I know that.
he'd lose a lot of this. He'd lose a lot of the speed, man. Like his speed is his killer. He's got the speed, and he's got that. You never know what's happening. It's always this like lightning fast. He's just throwing a spinning elbow. What the fuck, If he's in heavyweight, he's not gonna be able to throw that stuff as much,
So let me.
But DC didn't slow. DC didn't slow down. Like his speed was like he moved. I think John Jones would slow down carrying all that weight on those little bitty legs. I think that with his leg, with his upper body, I've never seen John Jones at heavyweight, but John Jones big. I think that it would make. I think he would be top heavy. I think that would make the takedown easier for DC, and I don't think the power would translate, man.
Can I ask you guys one question?
Jones was a heavyweight for a fight.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Liam.
Jones was a heavyweight for a fight. He did a grappling. He did a submission fight with Dan Henderson at heavyweight.
Yeah, submission underground. Yep.
Yeah, that's his heavyweight. That's his only heavyweight fight he's done that I know.
Yeah.
Now, what were you gonna say, Brad?
Well, I was just going to ask you guys a question. Basically, we're talking about them fighting at heavyweight, but what I want to ask you guys is who really gets to dictate what weight class they fight in? What if Jones wants it at 205?
If they fight a light heavyweight, Jones is going to win. At least they fight a heavyweight. We don't know what's going to happen.
But Jones is the one.
But I'm saying you guys don't think it. You guys don't think Jones would be able to determine where he would want that fight?
But he was already talking about moving
I don't
up.
think it. Well, I don't think it's
Oh,
up
he
to
did?
Jones. I don't think it's up to John Jones. Yeah, he's talking about moving up to heavyweight and fighting DC. He put some
He was
tweet out
talking about
saying
moving
that
up to heavyweight before.
before that. Yep.
When he beat DC the first time, he was wanting to go fight
Yes.
Lesnar. He wanted to fight Stipe.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Stipe would beat John Jones.
Stipe would beat John Jones.
Yes.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. I think Jones all the way.
Stipe would.
I'm gonna have to humbly disagree with you, my friend.
Yeah.
So
BJ,
who's next?
I think that's debatable, BJ.
That's definitely debatable.
BJ loves him some
That's
Stipe.
Man, Stipe's my dude, man. I'm trying to get
He's a
Stipe
good
on
dude.
No Filter MMA, and he'll probably do it too. Stipe
He's a
is
good
just
dude.
that
He's a good dude, man.
He's a good dude, man. I just feel like
He's a
Jones
good guy.
is on another level.
So what's
Yeah,
next
Jones
for
is a
Stipe,
complete
y'all?
different level.
What's
Next for
Stipe?
Stipe?
Volkov.
Yep. Boom.
But with Stipe being the greatest UFC heavyweight champion of all time, do you think Stipe needs a tune-up fight, or do you think Stipe should get a rematch?
He has to get a tune-up fight. You can still rank him number one and have a tune-up.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying he should have like the next rematch with DC, but do you think his next fight should be for the belt? That's what I should say.
I think he should fight Volkov, get back to feeling what he's doing, then go against
Yep.
UFC. I think he needs something in between. He can't just go back there. If anything,
Yeah, he's got to get another fight, man.
if anything, he wants his confidence. If you got finished in the first round, you need to get your confidence back. You need to go knock someone out and win dominant.
Yes. Yeah.
Think about it. He would be the champion, right? He's gonna have to fight somebody like a Volkov eventually. Why not just get it out the way and not have the pressure of being the champion? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And fight this
And
kid.
focus.
Or this,
Yes.
If he beats Volkov,
No.
who's he got left? Who's he got left?
Right.
He's got no one. If he beats Volkov,
No one.
Tavasa maybe when he gets better. But that's it.
Yep.
Well, unless Curtis Blades gets another win under his
No,
belt.
he'll beat Blades. Blades is good wrestling in comparison to the strikers.
Yeah.
But Stipe is better wrestling than Blades.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So
Stipe has better wrestling than Blades.
oh, here we go. Oh no.
No, I'm just asking.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so as well.
It's close. It's close. It's close for sure.
But I
That's
think it's
debatable,
close to
right?
Blades, and the fact that it's a close win by Stipe, and the fact that his striking is a lot better than Blades, I think Stipe has
Yes.
that fight.
By a landslide. I think
It's
not even close. Stipe would piece him up so quick.
The only two coming up for Stipe is Volkov first is coming up, and then Tavasa may come up.
Volkov is the scariest one out of all of them, bro.
Yeah, he's got the
So
reach.
what about light heavyweight though? What about because DC Dana White's made it clear that he's gonna let DC defend both belts if he wants to. So if he goes back down to light heavyweight, you've got Ilir Latifi.
There's nothing at light heavyweight right now. He beat Gustafsson already.
What do y'all think?
And he beat Ozdemir, and that's like the #1 contender fight too.
No, I think he needs to fight
What
Gustafsson.
Gustafsson and Ozdemir?
Yeah, they're like basically they're pretty much the contender fight.
If Volkan beats
What would you say?
Gustafsson, DC doesn't need to fight him. But if Gustafsson
No.
beats Ozdemir, DC should fight Gustafsson. You know what I mean? If Gustafsson proves himself better than Ozdemir, DC should fight Gustafsson again. If he doesn't, then he should chill out and wait for someone else.
Reggie the Tree in the comments section
Vacate
said,
that
I
title.
think- Yeah, I think he should vacate the light heavyweight title and let John Jones and Gustafsson fight for that belt.
Yes.
But DC, I mean, Reggie the Tree says in the comment section, I think DC said if Stipe wants the rematch, it has to happen by May 2019.
Retirement.
No, I think DC wants the Brock fight or the Jones fight.
Not in 2019.
Jones is supposed to come back around January of 2019.
That's true, but you can't count Stipe out, man. Stipe's earned the right to have another crack.
Yeah,
at
if he
the
beats
title.
Volkov, he could still fight Volkov at the end of the year and earn that title fight. He'd fight 3 months later.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he
I
could.
think Lesnar's coming up in the next couple of months against DC, and then Jones. It depends if Jones comes back or not. He could face 4 years suspension. We don't know.
Right.
Hopefully he comes back because I mean, even if he does get suspended, no one wants to see John Jones suspended. No one wants to see that.
Nobody.
Well, DC probably does, but no one else does.
DC knows that John Jones is gonna fuck up his reign if he comes back.
Guys, think about how John Jones probably haunts DC every night, man. Even though he's got a crazy accomplishment, you still have that in the back of your head. That guy beat you twice already.
No,
That
once, bro.
asterisk. There's an
Well,
asterisk
yeah, you're right.
on it.
You're right,
There's an
Lynn,
asterisk.
technically. But what our eyes saw.
I know, but it was this cat. It's what's it called? It's been no contest. He's not there.
Yeah, I know. Technically you're right. I'm just saying. We saw him get knocked out. You know? We saw him get knocked out. That's all I'm saying. But you're technically right, B.
Do y'all think that that's always going to be in the back? You think that's always going to haunt DC? Do you think DC really needs to fight John Jones?
He got knocked out cold, bro.
Do you think Do you think DC needs to needs that win over John Jones to kind of put that to rest, so he'll know for himself that he can beat John Jones?
At least one.
If DC beats Jones, he's the GOAT.
Yep.
If he beats Jones, he's the GOAT. Yes.
Yep.
No question. No question.
No questions asked. Yep. No question.
If Mighty Mouse beats Jones, he's the GOAT. Mighty Mouse not going to beat Jones.
Listen, man. Mighty Mouse.
Go ahead.
Brad.
Mighty Mouse, man. That's my guy right there. That dude is a beast, man. He's the best technical fighter in the UFC still. Technically sound, just perfect in every position, man. There's nobody that's ever been like Mighty Mouse.
Start over, Liam. What you say, man? Go ahead.
What'd you say, Liam?
If he weighs 50 kilos and Jones is 6'4", Jones is going to win, all right? I know he's a nice guy, but Jones is going to beat him, all right?
Bro, Jones is a different animal. Jones may be able to knock out Jesus Christ if he came down, bro. You can't compare Jones to anybody. Jones is the GOAT, hands down.
If Jesus
That's
Christ
not a fair
was-
comparison. That's
if
like
Jesus
comparing.
Jones' brother said he probably beat him up.
Oh, now John Jones's brother said they used to whoop his ass when they were younger, but yeah, now obviously Jones is the baddest human being on planet Earth.
Never mind.
Bro,
Anyway.
Jones kills Tyron Woodley. Jones killed him easy.
I didn't think y'all could hear me.
I heard you, BJ. I heard you.
So, okay.
Jones kills him too, bro.
So 226 delivered. I think 226 delivered. I don't think it delivered quite as much as it should have because we lost some fights and then we didn't have some entertainment.
The Holloway, Holloway Ortega, man, that was going to be such a sexy fight.
Yeah, that fight definitely. Maybe we'll see that fight on the same night as. Maybe we'll see that fight on September 8th.
Oh, well, I think.
I hope Max Holloway gets better, man.
I hope we see that fight. I hope it's a double championship card with Holloway and Ortega and Nicco and Valentina when Nicco defends her belt against Valentina. So yeah, so
Stevens.
Oh,
what's that,
you
Liam?
talking about Jeremy Stevens?
I want Stevens versus Ortega before the Holloway fight.
Well, Jeremy,
I like that, Liam.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna
I
happen.
like that.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
think
'Cause
Holloway-
They need to give Stevens his due.
They offered Jeremy Stevens to Brian Ortega, and he said no. Brian Ortega wants to fight for the belt
On short notice.
But
I know short notice.
on short notice, yeah. But Jeremy Stevens said that Brian Ortega is ducking him. Do y'all believe Ortega's ducking Jeremy Stevens?
He's ducking him, bro. He's ducking my guy Jeremy Stevens, bro. He's straight ducking him. He don't want any parts of Jeremy Stevens. He doesn't want no smoke, bro. He doesn't want no smoke.
It's short notice, man. Come on.
Liam said it perfect. That fight is the perfect fight.
But you can't fight somebody like Brian Ortega on short notice. You gotta train for Brian Ortega, bro.
No, Jeremy
Stevens trains with Dominic Cruz, bro.
Yeah, but short.
He's
notice
ready
against-
every day.
Short
No,
notice.
but Cruz
against Brian
isn't
Ortega.
exactly Ortega, man. Like, I think Ortega's probably he's got the jiu-jitsu that Cruz doesn't
Well,
have.
yeah, on that front, yeah, the jiu-jitsu, but Stevens would have wanted to keep that thing standing.
Yeah, exactly. And Ortega said no. Ortega said no. The fact
Right.
that Ortega said no means that he's worried. He's worried about Jeremy Stevens.
Because if it was easy money, he would take the fight.
No, I don't.
Why
think
not
he's
get
worried
paid,
about
BJ?
Jeremy Stevens. I don't think he's worried about Jeremy Stevens. I think he just wants. He doesn't want to end up like Frankie Edgar, taking another fight other than the title fight and losing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Which Stevens could. Yeah, Stevens is a threat to beat him for sure. I'm short notice.
Yes, Jeremy Stevens could beat Brian Ortega. Yes, and that's the thing. I don't think he wants to end up having done to him what he done to Frankie Edgar.
Yeah,
my boys.
I see that.
Because Frankie
Well, let's
Edgar
rattle
should
off some
still
things.
get that
Let's
title
go.
shot.
But at the end of the day, Dana's going to decide it. You guys know that. He's going to decide who gets the title shot regardless. We've seen him strip people of title shots like we did to Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up.
See?
Kind of messed up.
I want to see. You know what I want to see, boys? I want to see Morales versus what's his name? What's his name?
Assunção? Woo! That would be a crazy fight. Holy
That'd be
moly!
fireworks. That'd be fireworks. Absolutely.
Marlon Moraes versus Rafael Assunção.
There's too much TJ, Cody, Cruz talk. I want some talk down a little bit below, you know?
Yes.
I like that fight, Liam. I like it.
Same thing I was trying to say as far as that's what I was trying to say with Valentina and Nicco. You know, I'm tired of the Valentina and Nicco talk. Let's talk a little bit down. Let's talk about these other girls a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
I hear you, BJ. Hey, I respect. Hey, BJ, I love that you want to bring light. I have to be the heel in that one and tell you why those girls can't stand up to Val, bro. I just love being the heel in that one.
Man, I tell you, I cannot wait until this fight is announced, man. I cannot wait. But this is what I wanted to talk about tonight as well is TUF 28. TUF 28 is there's a lot of drama. What I see the point. I see why, but I don't see why. A couple months ago, footage came out of Cyborg with all these known faces at the TUF 28 trials. As we know that this featherweight division for females is very, very thin right now. I see.
Yeah.
Who do you have? I mean, you have Cyborg. I think Holly's stepping up to featherweight now. You've got Megan. Yana Kunitskaya could stay at featherweight if she wanted to. She's got the size. She's got the strength. I mean, she muscled up Cyborg in there.
They want to do Nunes, man. They want to bring Nunes there.
Right, exactly. But if you look at the footage of the girls who were there, you had Cindy Dandois, who's been pushing for a Cyborg fight, and they won't. I don't think they want Cindy Dandois to fight in the UFC after that performance when she fought Alexis Davis at bantamweight, because that was a short notice fight. That was a very short notice fight, and she didn't do that good. So, but Cindy Dandois is like 12-3, you know, and that's 12. She has 12 MMA.
She's got a good record. Yeah.
Yes. So you have Cindy Dandois, our friend, No Filter MMA's friend, Pam Sorensen. Pam Sorensen is in this.
Pam Bam Sorensen.
Pam Bam Sorensen, baby.
Shout out to Pam Bam.
Shout out to Pam Bam Sorensen. You had Elizabeth Phillips. You had Josette Cotton, Ediana Gomez. You had girls that were in there.
Some good girls up there.
You had legit competition. This is what I don't understand. You had legit competition for Cyborg all in one room. Entertaining fights that would last more than one round in that one room right there. They were all there. What I don't understand
those girls don't have a following.
But the thing I want to say is, why would they go with girl? And no offense to Leah Letson. This is not at Leah Letson at all. Leah Letson is definitely a friend of ours. We like Leah Letson. She's my friend. Yeah. She's been on the show multiple times. I can understand why Leah Letson didn't show up to the tryouts, but I can understand why they chose Leah Letson to go into the house, because she's a legit competitor. She's a legit 45-pounder. She's great. She's already signed to the UFC. But they're choosing girls with no professional fights. There's one girl with no professional experience. And then they choose Penny Kianza from Invicta, who's a bantamweight. And half of the other girls they chose were bantamweights with much, much, much less experience. So will somebody please tell me why you would choose the up and coming prospects, all besides Leah Letson. Leah Letson, she's good. But you choose up and coming prospects over veterans who would have the fight IQ to beat Cyborg or to give Cyborg a good fight. Why would you choose the lesser experience over the more experienced? Go ahead, guys.
BJ, I'm going to stop you right there. I need to say something. My phone is on 1%, and I think it'll turn off very soon. So if I disappear, my apologies. That's
turn your camera off, bro. Turn your camera off.
What?
Turn your camera off.
You don't have a charger near you, Liam?
No, I'm literally charging it right now. It's still going down.
Tap on your screen. Tap on your screen and turn the camera off, bro.
What does that do?
It helps with the battery.
Alright, let me fix this. Alright, here, let's see what.
But what do you think about that, Brad?
No, I think you hit it, man. I think you hit it on the nail. The thing is, why they don't give those girls a chance like that is, you know what it is, man. It's money, bro. Those girls have the skills to compete with Cyborg, but the UFC wants to know who's going to draw. You know, all they care about is the money. Those girls are more than capable of giving Cyborg a hard time. all those girls, you know?
Mhm.
Even I know that the same when I say that these girls don't have anything for Val either. Yeah, I'm just being a-hole, you know. I know those girls, all those girls have skill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Val, because I've seen her in big fights and how
Yes.
she performed in those fights, is why, like it for me, I feel like she's much better than these girls, you know. But
Right.
in a fight, anything can happen.
Right.
But
So do you,
I agree. They need to give those other girls a chance to fight Cyborg. You know,
make it a
Cyborg's a
real
champion. She has
division,
to defend
bro.
the title. Yeah.
Yes, make it a real
It's not
division.
like it was back in the days, you know, when the UFC had to develop these stars. Now these just everybody's jumping different weight classes. You know, they're going from weight class to weight class, and you know now it's all about who can draw, who's got the bigger following,
Right. Right. Right.
and
I just
and
think,
it
man,
gives those girls no exposure.
yeah, and some of those veterans that I named are older girls. They're older fighters. They're in their third, like Pam. We know what we're gonna have to ultimately what we're gonna have to do is we're just gonna have to get Pam Sorensen back. We're gonna have to get her back on here so Pam can
Yeah.
tell us what her thoughts are. But a lot of theories are that the reason that they didn't get those veterans is because they're gonna sign those veterans anyway and bring in this up and coming class. Because a lot of these veterans, Pam, Cindy, Liz, Ediana, a lot of these girls are in their 30s and they're kind of
Yeah.
headed toward the end of their career. You know, not the end of their career, but they're getting there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
this fresh young, all these girls are like 20. I think there's only one girl that they chose that's over 30. But these are, a lot fresh young girls, so they're trying to bring
Develop
depth
the younger
into
talent.
Right, exactly. So I think I mean, if that's what they're doing, then I have no problem with them not choosing the veterans. But I
Yeah.
hope that that's what they're doing. I hope they give Pam and Cindy. I hope they give those girls that opportunity to
Very
fight
fair
because
due.
they
I
deserve
agree.
it. They deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very entertaining fights. And those are the type of girls that can go 5 rounds with Cyborg or could possibly
Yeah.
beat Cyborg. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on it, man. That's what I think.
I agree with you, BJ. Well said, man.
Yeah. But Brad, that's all I got, man. Liam's gone. His phone died. That poor fella. But that's all I got this week, man. That's all I got, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Yeah.
disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in 226, and I'm a little disappointed in the whole tough, the Ultimate Fighter thing. But
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter was a little bit of a disappointment. I agree with that. 226 hurt because we lost Holloway Ortega, but we got 227 coming up. 227 is a double title fight pay-per-view as well, right?
Well, you got some fight nights coming up too. So you got Justin Gaethje and James Vick coming up.
Yep.
Oh,
JDS and Ionov.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got some good stuff coming up, guys. We'll definitely be covering that. Just hit the like button, of course, and stick with us. We got some more guests coming up as well. I'm gonna try to get these featherweight girls in here, man. We got Boom Boom, well, just not Boom Boom. It's just Boom Gordon. I actually know Boom Gordon is getting ready to fight Greg Hardy on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Yes, and I know Boom Gordon's brother because I used to work with him, and his brother got us the interview. So we're going to be interviewing Boom Gordon before he fights Greg Hardy in August, August 2nd, I want to say, on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. So y'all definitely be looking out for that. That's a big win. And I'm gonna try to get Dan. We're gonna try to get Dan Dewar. We can get Sorensen back. We can't get Letson. We just had Letson. Letson's gone. She's gone already to TUF. She can't have her phone. She can't have any outside communication. So Letson's gone. Hopefully, when Letson gets out, we'll grab Letson again. But we got some stuff coming up for you guys, most definitely. But until then, drop your comments on what we said in the comment section, and let us know what you think. And No Filter MMA is peacing the fuck out, right, Brad?
Deuces, my brother. Deuces.
I'm out, man.